Guys, welcome to WWE Survivor Series 2022 review. Glad at least have one person live here watching the show. Um, we're gonna go over the entire pay-per-view for WWE Survivor Series. I think I might have started talking before the show actually went live. It was showing live, and then all of a sudden it started at like 1 second when I was in the middle of talking. Um, Give me 1 second here. One moment. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up real quick. All right. So let's go over the WWE Survivor Series pay per view and go over the entire card. This was actually pretty damn decent pay per view. I enjoyed the fact that the honorary Uce went Ucey on Kevin Owens with a low blow, and then at the end help the bloodline win this War Games match. He went he went he got the respect from Jay Uso, which I thought was fucking fantastic. Um and yeah, there was some other things on this pay-per-view. A lot of the regular matches that weren't the War Games match was actually rather good. Enjoyed that as well. There was only one match on this card that I thought sucked, and that was Ronda Rousey and Shotzi Blackheart in that one-on-one match for the women's championship for SmackDown. I didn't like that match at all. But let's go over the very first match. It was the women's War Games match. It actually had Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch defeating the Team Bailey, Damage Control, Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Sky, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. My personal opinion about this match was this was actually pretty decent. It did have some botches. I mean, Io Sky was really fucking up in some aspects. She went ahead and was in a corner and botched a drop kick. She got her legs stuck in the rope and the cage at the same time. It was rather funny. She had to redo the move, and her opponent was sitting there waiting for her to do the move, which was absolutely terrible. The women did have some issues. Some of them were far better than the rest than some of them. But the majority of the women did okay. I don't think it was absolutely terrible. But yeah, I think that this match was a fairly decent matchup. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 stars. The match was kind of botched a little bit, like I said. But other than that, I mean, this match was not all that bad. Um, so yeah, no complaints here. And the next match we had on the card, guys, was actually AJ Styles and Finn Balor. This was actually pretty damn good too. I mean, not too much to complain about. And by the way, I forgot to mention, um, Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and Becky Lynch were the ones that got the victory here at the end of all this by pinfall. AJ Styles going up against Finn Balor. This was not bad either. Like I said, AJ Styles ends up winning this match by pinfall with the phenomenal forearm. And we got a good match out of these two. They've fought before in the past. This is the second time I believe that these two men have fought one another, which is not bad. Based on the previous experiences we've had with WWE's booking, that the matches were absolute trash. Well, the book way too much and repetitive. So it wasn't exactly, these two have not had that at all. Thank you again for the likes. By the way, I do appreciate that. And so that was actually another good matchup between these two. It went back and forth. We also got Judgment Day and the OC battling it out on the outside in the middle of this match, which gave them some opportunity to get involved in this pay per view, despite the fact they weren't actually um, put in the pay per view to actually wrestle at all. So it was actually pretty good that they were able to get that done and get some involvement in this pay per view altogether. Ronda Rousey and Shotzi Blackheart, I have no fucking idea why they booked this fucking match. They made Shotzi look like she was going to go ahead and make this big fight against Ronda Rousey, try to do something amazing, try to pull something off, but end up falling short. None of that took place. It was a one-sided beatdown mostly. Shotzi lost to Ronda Rousey by the submission hold of the armbar, and Ronda Rousey walked away as well, not as the new, but the world champion for the women's division and retained her title. AJ Styles and Finn Balor, by the way, is a 3.5 out of 5 stars, I'd say. It was fairly decent matchup, very fun to watch, and I enjoyed that for what it was. This match, though, I am giving it a 2 out of 5 stars. This match was fucking shit. I don't think it even deserves a 2 out of 5 stars. I'm just being generous because majority of this pay-per-view is pretty good anyway. Now moving on to the co-main event. That was actually a triple threat match for the United States Championship. We had Austin Theory and Seth freaking Rollins and Bobby Lashley in this triple threat match. Um, and these these three guys actually went ahead and really kicked some ass. It went about 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Austin Theory was very fortunate. Bobby Lashley speared Seth Rollins, landed on top of Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory pinned him for the 1, 2, 3 to end the match. And Austin Theory is now the new WWE United States champion for the second time. This was actually a far decent, good matchup. I'm giving this a 3.5 stars out of 5. This was pretty darn good. I think it deserved a little bit longer, but hey, it is what it is. No big complaints here. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Now we had the Bloodline and the Brawling Brutes again, with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. This was the second War Games match. My personal opinion, I think that the whole match was excellent. I'm going to give this 4.5 out of 5 stars easily. Great storytelling that was taking place in this matchup. This was not one of your typical ordinary, main event matches. Christopher Carter says overall this was a good show, B plus. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. Maybe an A minus for me. I think it had but one bad match, and the rest of the card was pretty damn good. Rachel Buck says, I see Seth Rollins facing Cody Rhodes for the last time at the Royal Rumble. They'll be the last two in the ring. Cody Rhodes eliminates Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. Do you agree? Yes, I absolutely agree with that idea. I think that would be the best idea to go with, and never book these two to wrestle again until later on in the future, not like right now. So yeah. Cat Inkpen says, NGL, I wish the Brutes won. Roman's nice to look at, but I like Sheamus better. Okay. Whatever you say, Cat. Cat Inkpen. The reason why is because of what they did with Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, along with Roman Reigns. I am going to be straight up with you guys. Sami Zayn, they've been talking about Sami Zayn possibly leaving the bloodline and joining with Kevin Owens. I don't have a problem with that, but I'll be straight up honest with you guys. I think Sami Zayn fits the bloodline like a fucking glove. That hug embrace by Jimmy Uso or Jey Uso And Sami Zayn was just magnificent ending for a pay-per-view. It told such a great story. It was showing the whole story was just based on Sami Zayn's allegiance to the bloodline. Does he really care about being part of the group, or does he favor his friend? And we got our answer at the end of all this. So I think it was a terrific way of closing out the show. I think that the bloodline are looking great, but I do believe that eventually at WrestleMania, we should see the world championship off of Roman Reigns. The titles probably will be separated. We will see Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble and then challenge for the WWE championship. My friend Matt 87 Eagle did bring up to me last night while we were talking over the phone after the event was over. He said, you know, world of wrestling, there's one little problem that you're failing to realize. And the problem is that when he came back after WrestleMania 38 and he made his promo on the microphone in the middle of the ring, he mentioned that he only wants to win the WWE championship. So he said, how would that make sense if he went to challenge for both titles at the end of the day? It doesn't make a lot of sense. So he's kind of like at the end of the day, he's like, you got to have him win the WWE championship and have someone else challenge for the universal title, because then at that point you're just looking at it in a very oddball way. It's not consistent what he said originally when he came back and cut his first promo in WWE after he won the match at WrestleMania 38. So with that mentality, I get it. It's going to be interesting how they're going to try to make sense of all this, because you got to think about it. Every time that Roman Reigns has defended the title, and I'm saying title even though they're two separate belts, they're both being defended. It's not one championship being defended for one person on one show and vice versa. It's both titles. So what are they going to do when it comes down to Cody just wanting the WWE championship? I mean, could they possibly just are they going to make any sense of it is my concern. So there, you could have Adam Pearce come out and say, "Hey, look, man, those titles are unified. You're not going to be winning just the WWE championship. It's also going to be the universal title." And you could have Cody rejecting that and just saying, look, Raw has no champion on this show. We deserve to have our own world champion. You don't need to have both champions or both the champion going on both shows and having double duty. There's no point in doing that. So he could probably convince Adam Pearce, since he is a general manager type figure on the show, that that's not the right way to go. And then he could be, swayed into the idea of just going ahead and having him challenge for the WWE championship, ultimately making Roman Reigns have to wrestle 2 nights in a row. So that could be a great idea for them to go with. Christopher Carter says, now we got to wait and see the bloodline turn on Sami Zayn, and I can see Sami will mess up the Usos lost the titles. I will go with Drew and KO, new tag team champions. No, I don't agree with you on that one. I think they're going to get rid of Sami Zayn based off of what he will be doing later on in this run. That's the only way it's going to make any sense. Outside of that, he should stay with the bloodline. He fits perfectly like a glove. And I think that he is definitely a pretty damn good asset to this group. He may stand out like a sore thumb, but man, is he fucking good at what he does with this group. He fits in so fucking well. It is amazing how he just blends in with this group. And it's the oddest thing in the world because he doesn't even fit in. He's not a Samoan. He's nothing but just a regular dude who works in WWE, and just somehow he managed to convince Roman Reigns that he is the right guy to be part of their group. It's such an oddball thing, and I think it's absolutely funny as hell. So, Next up, uh, I mean, the rest of this is just a very short pay-per-view. I mean, it was long based on the two matches that took place. But other than that, I mean, it's not bad. This was a fucking good pay-per-view. I'm gonna give it an A minus, because there's nothing you can really complain about. Um, so yeah, that's all I have to say on that, guys. Christopher Carter is asking, well, he says, yeah, you're right, but who will win the tag titles? Christopher Carter, I think the two is going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at the end of the day. No matter how much I love Sami Zayn, part of the bloodline, I think that is going to be the end game of this storyline with Sami Zayn in the bloodline. He's eventually going to be removed. It might be him trying to win the Elimination Chamber to be Roman Reigns' opponent at WrestleMania. So it will make it easier for Roman Reigns to retain his Universal title at least. So it'll be facing an ally instead of an adversary. So that could be a possibility that they're going with. Um, and he could end up failing miserably in the Elimination Chamber, fall short, and then Roman Reigns turns on him, and the rest of the bloodline turns on him as well and beats him senseless, like Evolution style back when Triple H ran his own group. So that's the way I think it's going to go down. And then we just get a month-long build between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos. And Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win. They win the tag team titles at the end of the day at WrestleMania. And there you go. End of the story, end of the whole situation. And we get what we've been looking for, and it all blends and works all together. So that's the direction I believe they're going to go with Sami Zayn at the end of the day. Plain and simple. I know this is a very short review. There wasn't much to talk about. This was just a 5-match show. So, I mean, if you guys have any more comments in the chat so we can continue on with this review in some kind of manner where we have like our own random wrestling talk impromptu show, by all means, go ahead. But I'm going to be closing out in just a few short moments. So if you guys want to say anything in the chat, just let me know and I will go ahead and answer any questions. But yeah, this pay-per-view had everything going for it outside of the Ronda Rousey Shotzi Blackheart match. So I personally, I don't, I just don't see that this was a terrible pay-per-view by any means. If you think this was a terrible pay-per-view, you ought to get your head examined, because I think even a casual fan would find this an absolutely amazing pay-per-view. I mean, I'm a hardcore wrestling fan. I won't lie though, I have been a little bit feeling stale from the wrestling product, both from AEW and WWE. I do like what they're doing at MJF and AEW, but this WWE pay-per-view is pretty good, but they need to improve the week-to-week shows, because the week-to-week shows have been a little stale, especially Raw. SmackDown quite better than normal. I think that they are applying some good stuff out of all of this, and I think it's it was a great show. There's really nothing to complain about, and again, like I said, if you have anything to complain about, please get your head examined. There's something fucking wrong with you. Anyway, guys, since there are no more comments being made in the chat, I'm going to let you guys go. So at this time, you know what to do. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.